Oh gosh. Oh, I just kind of startled myself there a little bit. Oh, I was not expecting that. What's up, party people? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are testing out more new drugstore and affordable makeup. Super exciting. I always like to do these. I haven't even touched a lot of this stuff, so we're gonna try it for the first time together. And let's do it. I really don't have any eyeshadows, so I may just throw on like a tan in the crease or a bronzer or something and just kind of let the face makeup and the other stuff be the focus. Let's start with some eyeliner. So these are the L'Oreal Infallible Grip Gel Mechanical Liners. It says up to 36-hour wear. I've got the shade Brown Denim and Intense Black. So yeah, this is just your typical retractable liner. It's got like a little smudgy tip on the end, and then if you pull it off, it is a sharpener. Yeah, let's start with the Brown Denim shade. I'm just gonna keep this really close to my lashes and let's see how this goes on. Okay, so it's definitely not the most creamy and glidey. Like there is a little bit of skip to it. It's not just like, whew. There's a little bit of drag. My nose is running. Ugh. Yeah, there's the brown side. So yeah, it's definitely not the most creamy and opaque and the most like intense. I do want to do the black on the other side just to see if it's like really jet black and rich and stuff, because I feel like it's really like it's such a game to try to find a really rich jet black creamy kohl-like kind of eyeliner. So let's see with this one. All right, it's gliding on pretty well. I will say it's one of those that as you blend it out with your brush and just kind of like feather it out, it does kind of thin and shear out a little bit to where you have to like keep going back in. I definitely like the black better than the brown. The brown's pretty basic. It's pretty meh, it's brown, but this one does have that like really like rich, intense, smoky kind of look. It is matte. Both of them are matte. I forgot to mention that. I should probably swatch them. Let's see. Like here's the brown one. So let's see. So yeah, very glidey on my hand anyway. And then here is the black shade. So yeah, that's pretty jet black. Do I seriously not have a mascara? They're always coming out with those things. I actually just talked about the e.l.f. Lash N Roll Mascara, which is brand new. I may just throw that in this video too. I don't know. As you can tell, I'm not properly prepared today. So yeah, I'll just show you what it looks like once again, and you can go check out that video up here if you want to see a more detailed review of it. So while I'm putting this on, since I don't really have a whole lot to say about it since I did an entire video, I do kind of want to talk about e.l.f. and their chokehold on the beauty community lately. So I'm not saying any of this to degrade or like knock people that do sponsored videos. I think sponsored videos are fine. I'm still kind of to the point where like if it doesn't feel natural, I don't like it. Like I just don't really appreciate it. I really don't like to do sponsored content myself unless it's, you know, a special situation where like I really like the products and I can speak freely about something. But e.l.f. has been doing this thing where they've been paying people to talk about their viral makeup and, you know, really trying to keep the makeup viral. I don't know, like I just feel like e.l.f. is one of those that they're so in people's pockets now that it kind of scares me, because e.l.f. really didn't used to be that way. Like e.l.f. used to be pretty low-key and pretty like they were kind of mediocre for a long time, and now they've really risen to the top and they've really become like a household name. I still feel like they're pretty like, they're still not mediocre, but there's a lot of hits and misses amongst e.l.f. stuff. But I just feel like whenever a brand is too into the beauty community, like in the pockets of creators, that is where I have a hard time with trust. It honestly kind of turns me off towards e.l.f. Here's my thing. I feel like if a product is actually like truly good, like if the quality is there, then it will just naturally go viral. I don't think you have to pay people to like put viral in the title or, you know, to push virality with a product. Like if it's good, it's good, and it's gonna come through. I feel like that's a problem with a lot of these brands. They don't want to wait. Like they want their products, like their new products, to go viral as fast as possible. Like they do not want to wait. Like they just want to get right to it and have their names everywhere and be in allure and like, I don't know. What are we talking about right now? Because I have no idea anymore. By the way, I'm using something outside of the e.l.f. mascara now, the Lash N Roll Mascara. So here's a little update, just in case you wanted to know. I really liked this when I first used it. I will say this is a very dry formula. Like the more I use it, it keeps drying out and it's becoming less and less buildable. I like a lot more length and like that, you know, really big look. So this is good. I still like this, but it's not one that I find myself gravitating towards every single day. Like there are other ones in my collection that I like better. So there's a little update for you on my e.l.f. Lash N Roll. Now I'm using the L'Oreal Telescopic, the original. Every time I see a girl that has really pretty lashes, they're just up to her freaking eyebrows. Like they're beautiful, they're long, they're thick, they're goals. Always wearing L'Oreal Telescopic. So I've really been trying to make this work and see if I like it as much as everyone else does. That really kicked it up. That's a really pretty combination. Maybe I shouldn't call this a testing new makeup video. Maybe I should just call it testing makeup. Just using whatever. Yeah, in the comments below, what is your favorite go-to mascara? Old or new? I don't care. Just drop it in the comments below. Ooh. That is nice. So L'Oreal just came out with several new primers, part of the Prime Lab collection. So I have the Redness Eraser and the Dullness Reducer. And I didn't realize when I was purchasing that the Dullness Reducer, the orange one, is actually meant for deeper skin tones. I swatched it and realized it was like straight up orange. And then on the tube, it does say tan to deep skin. But in the title and in the description, it mentions nothing about deeper skin tones. So we're gonna try it anyway just to see where I've got a lighter skin tone. We'll play around with it. But I am really curious about the Redness Eraser. So let's go ahead and do this one first. They do have another one in this line called the 24-Hour Matte Setter. So anyone can wear that one. I'm assuming it's translucent. So yeah, there's what the green one looks like. So just a traditional light green kind of shade. Let's put the green one on this side. I've got some more blemishes on this side. So I'm just gonna put it back here mostly. It does. It has a little bit of a scent to it. I don't know if it's really doing a whole lot. But let's just put it all over this side. Okay, it kind of dissipates into nothing. Like, I'm massaging my face trying to apply it and I'm making it more red, and it's just not really, I don't know, it's just not really pigmented enough to do anything. Can you really see it? I can't see a difference from side to side. I will say the longer I'm sitting here, this is actually kind of starting to work a little bit more. Like, it does look a little more like toned down now that I've, you know, the blood circulation where I was massaging it has kind of toned down. So you can kind of see that it does look more even, less red. It feels pretty smooth. Like, it feels like I've got a primer on. Not too bad or anything. It's not feeling, well, wait a minute. My pores on that side are a lot smaller. That is weird. I didn't expect that. Maybe I should read what it says. It's a $16.99 at Ulta, so it's pretty pricey. It's a little up there for the drugstore, but that's what they're calling it. So it says instantly smooths and gives skin a blurring effect to the skin. Okay. Formulated with tried and true skincare ingredients, dermatologist tested. That means nothing really. So I forgot to mention both of these do have 4% niacinamide. Well, hopefully you can see from side to side. It definitely looks more even, just a little bit. Like, it's not like I would want to go out and like, I'm okay with this amount of evenness, but you can see my pore area. Like, look how porous I am on this side and how smoothed over and just like canceled out I am on this side. That's pretty impressive in terms of the pore filling action. And it just looks very smooth, very soft, mattified too. Now I'm interested to see how the like translucent one, like just the basic matte setter one works. I will say over my blemishes, it does look a tad bit dry. I do see some crustiness. It's definitely not a moisturizing kind of formula. So I fully expect to have to take this off after, but we're gonna do the orange one on this side now. As you can see, it is a vibrant pumpkin orange. Let's just, oh. It may be one of those that like as you massage it in, it turns translucent. Nope, not doing that. I will say though, for under the eyes, for, oh gosh. Oh, I just kind of startled myself there a little bit. I was not expecting that. I was gonna say this may be better for just under the eyes for dark circles. So I don't know why I'm continuing. This isn't gonna clear up. Like, this isn't gonna turn translucent. So what am I doing right now? Just turning my face a whole new color. I mean, it looks pretty good. No, I'm gonna give this a fair shot, okay? I'm clearly not the person to be reviewing something like this, but I'm gonna put this just under my eyes, my dark circles, and see if it actually works to color correct them. I think it will. Man, there's not a cotton pad here big enough. I'm gonna take this orange one and just a little tiny, bloop, just the tiniest amount. I'm just gonna take this right under my eyes. It's so weird to see a primer this pigmented because normally they're very toned down. Most of the time they don't even do anything. What do you guys think? Do you think it canceled out a good amount? So Revlon has reformulated their Colorstay Foundation. So I got both of them, the one for combo oily skin and also the one for dry skin. So let's try these. I was never a huge like mega fan of the original Colorstay Foundations. I know everyone else was, but I mean, they were fine to me. Every time I used them, I didn't feel like that wow factor. Like, it wasn't something that I was ever super excited about, but at the same time, I never really had my perfect shade. Like, the one that I had was always a little bit too light for me, so maybe that was what the problem was. So what I see different about them just upon first glance is that they're now made with some skincare ingredients in them. So the combo oily skin one is made with vitamin E, then the normal dry skin is hyaluronic acid. I'm one of those that thinks along the lines of skincare ingredients in foundations don't really do a whole lot. Like, I feel like if you were to take them out, you'd probably have the exact same foundation in terms of wear hair and how it looks and stuff, like I don't really feel like it makes a big impact. To me, I just think it's kind of riding the wave of the influx of skincare enthusiasts and just trying to pizzazz up their foundations and their makeup and stuff like that. I mean, that's just my opinion, but I mean, do I think that having vitamin E in your foundations actually making a difference to your skin? No. Is it better for your skin than not having it in it? I mean, probably. Do I think having hyaluronic acid in your foundations actually beneficial? Probably not. If anything, it would actually be maybe a bad thing. If you live in like a drier region where you don't have a lot of moisture in the air, then that hyaluronic acid in your foundation is pulling moisture from the air to your skin and possibly making your skin drier over time. So something to think about, but it's in there in case you wanted it. I'm also kind of confused as to why there's SPF 20 in one and SPF 15 in the other one. So in terms of my skin type, I'm more along the lines of having normal / sometimes dehydrated skin. My skin's not really oily or not really dry. I've got some acne prone-esque qualities too. So yeah, I'm in the shade 295 Sand Dune in both of these. So actually, let's see if there's a difference in the shades on my hand. And there is. So the top one is the dry skin formula and the bottom one is a combination oily skin formula. And the combo oily skin formula is a little bit more orange, a little bit darker. They're about the same undertone though, but definitely a depth difference. So that's interesting. So let's put the one for dry skin on this side, and this one's actually a pretty good match for my skin tone at first glance. There's about one layer of the dry skin formula. So yeah, it's definitely got some oxidation. It's definitely pulling darker than my skin now. Even on my hand, when I first pumped it out, it looked lighter than it does now. So that's kind of a bummer. But in terms of coverage, I would say medium, probably full if you didn't have a lot to cover up. But the finish right now is like a skin-like, like natural kind of finish. So let's do the combo oily skin now. Once again, starting back here where I have a lot to cover up and just working my way around. I still don't understand why brands can't do undertones. Why can't you do just normal undertones? Most people are not orangey, peachy undertones. It's like they're just appealing to people that use self-tanner. So there is the oily skin side. So at first glance, I don't really see a difference from side to side. So we're gonna let this sit for a little bit and see how they dry down and see if there's a difference in the finish, because I'm expecting the oily skin one to be more of a matte finish. But right now they look identical. So something I do want to try is to build up back here where I've got acne. So let's do that real quick. I'm not going to apply much. Just going to get a little bit on my brush and just stipple it right back here where I see stuff. I just want to kind of test the coverage of it. That gave me slightly more coverage, and I can still see some of my blemishes peeking through. The thing is with these foundations, they're just not super opaque. But I mean, it looks really good. My skin looks nice and just like smooth. So right side is dry skin formula, left side is oily skin formula. So let me do a little time check in case I end up doing a wear test. So I'm gonna do the Winky Loves Peeper Perfect Concealer under my eyes today. It's fairly new, I guess. Fairly new, but yet not really. This is actually one that I discovered on TikTok. I think it kind of went viral for a little while. This is actually a really good formula. I would say it's like a medium to slightly full coverage, like you can build it up, but it's very flexible. Like it's a very forgiving kind of formula to where it moves with your skin almost. Like it's just very skin-like. In terms of that orange corrector underneath, I don't see any difference. Let's go back to the foundations real quick before we move on. So there's no difference in anything, in the coverage, how they look on the skin, how they're sitting on my skin, like how they're sitting on my pores and stuff. Are these the exact same thing, just different highlight skincare ingredients? That would be sucky. So this isn't new, but this is something I've been doing lately. So I'm gonna put you onto something fun. This is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup, and I've been using a darker shade for bronzer, and this stuff is bomb for bronzer. I also have the shade Medium Deep that I use sometimes too when I want my face to be a little more sculpted, or if my skin's just darker, I like to use that one. But I really like the medium one because it's nice and subtle, and it blends pretty effortlessly into my skin tone without looking too dramatic. It's not too much darker than my skin tone, so it's really effortless. Like it just looks like a very soft sculpt. So yeah, there is medium for a bronzer. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Actually, you know what? We'll talk about this. We'll consider this to be a newsie. This is the Kaida Beauty Blush Beauty Wand. The title of this screams I'm from China, but it's trying to be a Charlotte Tilbury blush wand dupe by Honest Beauty, and the shade is Happy Pink. But look at that shade. That is a bright ass orange. I mean, I'm not saying it's an ugly color. Like it's really pretty, but this is not what I would consider to be Happy Pink. This is maybe Happy Orange. I mean, it has that same sponge tip applicator, same little mechanism where you can turn it on and off so that it doesn't leak or anything, which that's great. I will say when you squeeze it, instead of just coming up like out the top, it does like spew out at the bottom and on the sides. It's a very pretty, like summery, corally orange, even though it's pretty bright and a little intimidating on my hand when I swatch it. It's actually beautiful on the skin. Look at that though, that's really pretty. I love the glow of that. I don't really feel like I even need a highlighter. Okay, so I said I wasn't gonna powder, but I do think I'm gonna do a powder just so I can show you a product that I've not been enjoying lately. This is the Wet n Wild Bare Focus Clarifying Finishing Powder. This is the translucent shade. And I've seen a bunch of people say that the skin tone shades are a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury. Why is everything a dupe for Charlotte Tilbury? Jeez Louise. But it's supposed to be a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Powder, I think that's what it's called. But I don't like this one at all, okay? It is not great. It's just chalk city. But I do want to apply it with something that is new. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Powder Puff, which I've heard numerous people say this is the best powder puff to ever be created. So maybe this little guy will make the powder work 10 times better. I'm just gonna do a very light amount in my T-zone. I don't really want a lot of powder. Don't really need a lot of powder. It looks pretty smooth. It does look pretty nice with this. But I mean, I've used other powder puffs with the powder and it still hasn't looked that great. But I'm just gonna keep it pretty simple with that. That actually looks pretty good in my T-zone. That's very smoothing. But I do want to try the skin tone shades. Maybe they work better. I don't know. So let me finish up my lower lash line and stuff and we'll come back and do some lips. I'll be right back. The first thing I've got is a L'Oreal Color Riche Intense Volume Matte Lipstick. This is $13.99 at Ulta. And I'm typically not a matte lipstick person, but I'm always interested to see like new matte formulations to see how they improve over time. So let's just throw lip liner on. This is the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Brink. I love how small and narrow this is. Like it's just so easy to apply it without getting all over your face and like all over your lip region. Okay, that shade is beautiful. That is very universally flattering. Like I feel like that would look good no matter what you got going on your eyes. Like I just think this is very flattering, but it's definitely matte, okay? It is flat matte. But it's one of those finishes that looks super lineless. Like it's just so smoothing and matte that it makes you look like you have no lines in your lips whatsoever. It doesn't necessarily feel drying, but I would need a gloss with it. So for funsies, I'm gonna take this off and put something else on top. I've got so many lip products. Like the drugstore has really been pushing out lip products lately. I feel like that's actually gonna be pretty long wearing. Like I feel like that's gonna leave behind maybe a slight bit of stain as it wears off. Cause look at that, like that's not my natural lip color. That's really pretty. Like I have high hopes for that. Take some. And this one I think I'm gonna keep on. Like if I actually do like the color, I might wear this with the look. This is the L'Oreal Color Riche the Reds lipstick line. I'm not sure, but this is the shade 185 Prosperous Red. And the whole thing with this is that there's supposed to be a red for every skin tone. So I just picked out one. I have no idea if this is my red or not. The bullet of this, look at this. This is so Chanel. I'm gonna go into a red lip liner. This is the Kokie retractable lip liner in the shade 518 Wine. Oh, that color is stunning. The formula of that is super smooth. It just glides on. It's so freaking buttery. This does not feel like a drugstore lipstick at all. Like, let's go to the Ulta website and see if they actually describe each red. So I just want to see how they describe this color in particular. So this is called the Color Riche Reds of Worth Satin Lipstick. So it's definitely a satin lipstick. It's $10.99 and there's 6 different colors. And out of 105 reviews, it has almost 5 stars. It's got a 4.8 stars. So people are really loving this so far. So yeah, they call Prosperous Red a warm brick red. So I think that's the perfect way to describe this. It does say non-drying and smudge proof, which that's kind of a rare claim for a basic bullet lipstick. How's it smudge proof? Yeah, it's not smudge proof on my hand. So yeah, I think this will be my lip of choice for this look. Alrighty guys, I'm back for an impromptu wear test check-in. I actually decided not to do this, but then I was like, well, I'm wearing it anyway, so why not do it? So I'm just gonna touch on the face products, not necessarily the lips and stuff. Oh, it is 1:12 in the morning, so we just passed the 8-hour mark, working on 9 hours. The foundations, I'm not over the moon about it. I'm just not. This for 8.5 hours is nothing to write home about. Yeah, this side is the dry skin formula. This is the combo oily skin. I'm just gonna call it the oily skin formula. And I think I actually like the oily skin formula better, despite me not really having oily skin anymore. But I will say I don't really see a huge difference from side to side. I mean, I pointed that out earlier. Like the finishes look the exact same. I don't really see a difference in how they wore in my pore area or, you know, settling, stuff like that. Like they look pretty much identical. But I will say on this side, the dry formula side does look more worn off, but I think that's because I took a nap earlier and I was just focusing on this side. Like I had my head squished against a pillow and my hand was on it and stuff, and I didn't touch this side at all. So this one had some more wear and tear than the oily formula, but I think if it weren't for that, they would probably wear the exact same. Like, and keep in mind, I don't have a setting spray on, so they probably would look better with a setting spray. Like, I think it would wear better. This isn't wow factor to me. My blush, I don't really feel like my blush held up the best. It could be because of the foundation or, you know, because I didn't wear a setting spray. I've seen cream blushes that wear worse than this, but I will say something that's really turned me off about this is that the pigment has separated from the glitter in it. So you can see, like, there's some color payoff still. Like, you can still see that corally orange color, but there's no glow. The finish is pretty much gone. It's just kind of matte and whatnot, but you can see silver glitter specks all over my cheeks. That is not my gig. So because of that, I don't see myself using this a lot, but I definitely don't like the powder. I think I've made that pretty clear. Like, even today with the powder puff, I thought that would make it look better, and it did look better at first. Like, it did look super smooth and just very soft and like filtered like, but now everywhere that I put the powder, so my T-zone, like my forehead, my cheeks, my chin, looks dry, powdery, and patchy. So it just didn't wear very well. It doesn't hold up very well on my skin for some reason. So if you have extremely oily skin that just tends to get really greasy, it would probably work a lot better. The redness primer, this was pretty cool before foundation, but I don't really see it doing anything after foundation. Like, I don't really feel like my pores on this side are any more filled in. Again, it's just not a wow factor kind of primer. I've got a lot of smearing and smudging from my mascara too. What is going on? That must be the L'Oreal Telescopic mascara that I topped on the e.l.f. Lash N Roll, because when I've worn the e.l.f. Lash N Roll, it hasn't like flaked and smeared and stuff like that. So yeah, not the best on wear, Telescopic. Even the Winky Lux concealer that I raved about earlier hasn't worn the best. Like, my dark circles are pulling, like they are pushing their way through it. My under eyes look so dark. About it. The L'Oreal eyeliners actually wore pretty well. Actually, now that I look at it, they're not very intense anymore. It does look like there's quite a bit of fading and it just looks more sheer. So yeah, that was a rather disappointing video. There's some videos I film where every product's a hit. Like, it's just like wow, 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 one after the other. And then there are videos like this that I really don't look forward to editing at all. I mean, I guess it kind of helps save money. That's a positive. This video, big old thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos like this where I test out new makeup, here's a couple more things for you to check out next. Just venture around the channel, make yourself at home as always. Subscribe if you're not already, and turn the notification on to always see my stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.